Hello, let's start off by talking about science. Did you like studying science when you were at school?
In terms of studying science during my school years, I must admit that my feelings towards the subject were quite mixed. While there were aspects of science that I found fascinating, there were also elements that didn't quite capture my attention. Firstly, I must emphasize that I appreciate the practicality and real-world applications of science. Furthermore, I find great joy in conducting experiments and engaging in hands-on activities during science classes. On the other hand, there were certain aspects of science that presented challenges for me. For instance, I sometimes found the theoretical concepts and complex formulas in physics and chemistry to be quite daunting. In conclusion, my perspective on studying science during my school years was a blend of fascination and occasional challenges.
What do you remember about your science teachers at school?
Well, when I think back to my school days and reflect upon my science teachers, a few vivid memories come to mind. The first thing that stands out is their passion for the subject. They had an unwavering enthusiasm that was truly infectious, and it made the learning experience all the more engaging. I remember how they would bring the classroom to life by conducting captivating experiments and demonstrations. Whether it was mixing chemicals to create colorful reactions or using models and visual aids to explain complex scientific concepts, they always found creative ways to make the lessons come alive.
How interested are you in science now?
In terms of my interest in science, I must say that it has continued to grow and evolve over the years. Even though I am no longer a student, I find myself drawn to scientific discoveries, advancements, and the wonders of the natural world. One of the reasons for my sustained interest in science is its relevance to our daily lives. Furthermore, I find the process of scientific inquiry and exploration fascinating. Moreover, science provides a platform for critical thinking and problem solving. It encourages us to question assumptions, examine evidence, and think logically.
What do you think has been an important recent scientific development?
Well, in my opinion, one of the most significant recent scientific developments has been the emergence of renewable energy technologies as a viable alternative to fossil fuels. The shift towards renewable energy sources has brought about a transformative change in our energy landscape and holds immense promise for addressing pressing environmental concerns. Firstly, the development and widespread adoption of renewable energy technologies such as solar and wind power have significantly reduced our dependence on fossil fuels. Furthermore, renewable energy technologies have also sparked economic growth and job creation. Moreover, the decentralization of energy production facilitated by renewable energy sources has brought about great energy independence and resilience. One tourist attraction in my country that I would highly recommend is the Taj Mahal. Located in India, the Taj Mahal is situated in the city of Agra, which is in the northwest part of the country. This iconic monument is recognized as one of the 7 wonders of the world and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Visitors to the Taj Mahal are in for a breathtaking experience. The main highlight of this attraction is the magnificent white marble mausoleum, which was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the 17th century as a tribute to his beloved wife Mumtaz Mahal. The architecture of the Taj Mahal is a fusion of Persian, Islamic, and Indian design elements, resulting in an exquisite masterpiece. The intricate carvings, delicate marble inlays, and symmetrical gardens surrounding the monument are a true testament to the craftsmanship of that era. Upon entering the Taj Mahal complex, visitors can explore the expansive gardens and witness the grandeur of the structure from various angles. As they approach the monument, they can marvel at intricate details adorning the walls and the impressive dome that crowns the mausoleum. Inside the Taj Mahal, visitors can pay their respects to the tombs of Emperor Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal, experiencing the serene ambience of the place. Aside from admiring the architectural marvel, visitors can also learn about the rich history and cultural significance of the Taj Mahal. Local guides are available to provide in-depth information about the construction, the love story behind it, and the cultural context of the Mughal era. Additionally, visitors can capture stunning photographs of the Taj Mahal, especially during sunrise and sunset, when its marble facade reflects different hues, creating a mesmerizing visual spectacle. I would highly recommend the Taj Mahal as a tourist attraction because it is not only a remarkable architectural wonder, but also a symbol of eternal love and devotion. The sheer beauty and grandeur of the monument leave a lasting impression on visitors. Furthermore, the Taj Mahal represents the rich history and cultural heritage of India, allowing visitors to immerse themselves in the country's vibrant past. It is a truly awe-inspiring experience to witness the majesty of this masterpiece, and it is a must-visit destination for anyone exploring India.
Why do some people book package holidays rather than traveling independently?
Well, there are several reasons why some people choose to book package holidays instead of traveling independently. Firstly, package holidays offer convenience and ease of planning. When booking a package holiday, all the arrangements, including flights, accommodation, and transportation, are taken care of by the travel agency. This eliminates the need for travelers to spend time researching and organizing each aspect of their trip individually. Secondly, package holidays often provide a sense of security and peace of mind. Traveling to unfamiliar destinations can be daunting, especially for those who are less experienced or prefer not to handle logistics on their own. Moreover, package holidays often offer a range of amenities and activities that are pre-arranged. Travelers can select packages tailored to their preferences, whether they are interested in relaxation, adventure, cultural immersion, or a combination of these experiences. In conclusion, people choose to book package holidays for the convenience, security, and peace of mind they offer.
Do you believe that all museums and art galleries should be free?
Well, in response to the question of whether all museums and art galleries should be free, I believe that there are valid arguments both in favor and against this proposition. However, personally, I lean towards the view that not all museums and art galleries should be entirely free of charge. There are several considerations to take into account. Firstly, museums and art galleries often require substantial financial resources to maintain and preserve their collections, as well as to provide adequate facilities and educational programs. Admission fees contribute to the sustainability of these institutions, allowing them to continue their valuable work in preserving and showcasing artistic and cultural treasures. Furthermore, making all museums and art galleries free could potentially lead to overcrowding and a decline in the overall visitor experience. With no financial barrier, there may be an influx in visitors, making it difficult for individuals to fully appreciate the exhibits or engage in a meaningful way. In conclusion, the implementations of reasonable entrance fees would help ensure the sustainability and quality of these institutions, enabling them to continue preserving and promoting art and culture for future generations.
What kinds of things make a museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit?
Well, there are several factors that contribute to making a museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit. Firstly, the variety and quality of the exhibits play a crucial role. Museums and art galleries that offer a diverse range of exhibits tend to attract a wider audience, whether it's ancient artifacts, contemporary artworks, or interactive displays. Having a rich collection ensures there is something for everyone. Secondly, the presentation and organization of the displays are important. When exhibits are thoughtfully curated and well presented, it creates a visually appealing and immersive environment. To sum up, a museum or art gallery becomes an interesting place to visit when it offers a diverse range of exhibits and presents them thoughtfully. Okay guys, hello and welcome back to another analysis session. We're going to be working on book IELTS Speaking of the Cambridge Book 18, test number 2. As you saw in the video, the candidate answered the questions. Now we're going to take a look at the answers and analyze all the different sections of the answer. As usual, we would be more than grateful if you would like our videos and share them and leave us a comment. It really does go a long way and it helps us to produce more material for you. Okay, let's delve straight into the answers of the first section. The first question which was asked was, did you like studying science when you were at school? A very nice and interesting choice of question. First sentence went as such: in terms of studying science during my school years, I must admit that my feelings towards the subject were quite mixed. Now, in terms of something is the first expression which is used here, which means when you want to refer to something. For example, if you want to say, if we want to look at, it's used in terms of studying science during my school years. Again, as you can see, the candidate has actually paraphrased the topic to an extent, which is very, very more important. And I told you it's one of the most important techniques that you can use if you want to buy yourself some time. So you can use this in order to buy yourself time. I must admit, now the most important point about this verb is the pronunciation. It's not pronounced admit. Admit is the wrong pronunciation of this word. You must say, I must admit that my feelings toward the subject were quite mixed. If you have feeling towards somebody or something, it means you feel something when you look at them or when you read them or when you discuss them or when that specific topic actually pops into your mind. Are quite mixed. It means he doesn't know, he's not sure whether he likes the subject or not. He's trying to make up his mind. While there were aspects of science that I found fascinating, he's trying to say that although, while you can easily be replaced with the words although, there were aspects of science, there were parts of science that he found fascinating. Fascinating is a very good adjective, a synonym for it can be interesting or amazing. There were also elements that didn't quite capture my attention. An element is also is an aspect. The synonym for element here that we have can easily be the word aspect. Didn't quite capture my attention. If something captures your attention, it means you pay attention to it, or that thing becomes interesting for you. And a synonym for capture my attention can be attract my attention. You can also use the verb attract instead of capture. Now, the next sentence went like this. Firstly, I must emphasize that I appreciate the practicality and real-world applications of science. Look at the usage of I must emphasize that. See, these are all gap fillers. You can use these in order to, again, buy yourself time. And also they're very, very good when you're trying to start your sentence. Firstly, I must emphasize that. I must admit that. We had I must admit that in the previous sentence. Here, I must admit that is up here. Here it is used another one. I must emphasize that. I appreciate the practicality and real-world applications of science. If you appreciate something, it means that thing is important for you and you you like that thing. Practicality means something which is practical, that you can do it. Real-world application, it means if something has an application, it means it is used in a certain way. A real-world application is an application that actually is useful in your daily life of science. Furthermore, now look at this beautiful expression which is used. We've talked about these in the previous videos as well. Furthermore, moreover can also be replaced with furthermore. I found great joy in conducting experiments and engaging in hands-on activities during science classes. I found great joy is an expression very nicely used here. I found great joy, or it brought me great joy, can be replaced with this, with I found great joy in conducting experiments. If you conduct an experiment, it means you do an experiment or you carry out an experiment. Both of them can be replaced with the verb conduct, but as you know, the verb which is used here is much more beautiful than the other two. And engaging in hands-on activities. If you engage in an activity, it means you do that activity. A hands-on activity is an activity which is done practically. It means that you actually carry out something which is practical while you, for example, you have to do it in a lab, which involves mixing some elements together or things like that during science classes. Now, until here, the candidate is talking about the first aspect of his actually the idea that he has towards science, and in the second part he's going to go the other way and talk about the second part of his idea, because we know he said that he had quite mixed feelings towards the subject of science when it came to talking about that. On the other hand, from the other point of view, from the other perspective, there were certain aspects of science that presented challenges for me. If something presents a challenge for you, it means that particular thing is challenging and you are not comfortable doing it or carrying it out. On the other hand, there were certain aspects, there were certain parts of science that presented challenges for me. They were challenging for me. Now, you can easily replace presented challenges for me with they were challenging for me, but as you know, this is much more beautiful than the previous one. For instance is a synonym for example, and don't say for instance. For instance is again a mispronunciation that students make very commonly and on a very, very regular basis. I sometimes find the theoretical concepts, and complex formulas in physics and chemistry to be quite daunting. Now, first of all, if something is daunting, it's frightening, okay, in a way that makes you feel less confident. So if somebody gives you a daunting task to do, it means that the task that you have been asked to do scares you and you're not very comfortable doing it. I sometimes found, let's start from the top because I want to talk about that, the theoretical concepts. A theoretical concept is something which is very commonly used in the realm of science. It's actually a concept or an idea. By concept, we mean idea, which is theoretical, which is not practical. It cannot be done it's not a hands-on activity. And complex formulas, and formulas which were complicated. Complex can be replaced with the adjective complicated. In physics and chemistry, two of the majors that he related to science, and he apparently didn't enjoy them, to be quite daunting, to be quite frightening for him. In conclusion, to conclude, my perspective on studying science during my school years, his idea, perspective means idea, his point of view on, to have a perspective on something. Again, the preposition for perspective in this case is on. To have a perspective, the expression is this, to have a perspective on something. On studying science during my school years was a blend of fascination and occasional challenges. Blend means combination. It was a combination. It means it was the combination of two different things. Fascination means when you are fascinated or amazed by something, and occasional challenges. Now, look at how beautifully he has wrapped up his speaking. What the candidate has done here is it added the adjective occasional to challenges, making it much more sophisticated and a better way of saying that. Now, so an occasional challenge means it was sometimes challenging. It was challenging on occasion. You can replace the word occasional with on occasion. If you subtract the AL from the word, you get occasion, and you add that on. Sorry guys, it's a different word in front of it. It's not two words. It's not one word. It's actually two different words. On occasion. Let's take a look at the related vocabulary. Capture somebody's attention. If you capture somebody's attention, that means you gain that person's attention. We talked about that. Real world application of science. We talked about real world applications of science. We had it. It means to apply science on a practical level in your daily activities. Logical explanation. If something has a logical explanation, it means you can explain it and that sounds logical to you. It means you understand it. It is in line with the rules of logic. Hands-on activities are activities which are done which include the use of your hands. For example, working in a lab, carrying out an experiment, which includes you, for example, mixing a number of substances. Conduct biological experiments. A biological experiment is a type of hands-on activity. So if you conduct a biological experiment, you actually do a hands-on activity. So that's sort of the same thing. Observe the laws of physics. If you observe something, it means you take that into consideration, you look at it, you examine it very closely, so you can observe the laws of physics. We talked about daunting, because you've got the meaning here, frightening in a way that makes you feel less confident. And the last one, sorry, not the last one, regurgitation. This is a very beautiful word. I really like that. I want to add it to your vocabulary. It means repeat facts, ideas without thinking about them. And it's usually used in a disapproving manner. It's not usually approving. So if you regurgitate something, it means you keep repeating it over and over again. This is one of the things that would happen in classes while we were at school, because we had to repeat or read a specific idea or a specific question or, for example, lesson more than a couple of times. Sorry, it's realm of science. There's a typo mistake here. The M has been omitted here. Realm of science, it means the field of science. And realm is a much better word than field. Okay, let's go to the second question. What do you remember about the science teachers at school? This is a very beautiful question. I'm sure that if you're listening to this right now, you all will be looking back at your memories that you have had with your teachers, specifically science teachers at school, because we all have very happy memories of our school days. Well, when I think back to my school days, and reflect upon my science teachers, a few vivid memories come to mind. When you look back, think back, okay, sorry, here the candidate uses the word think back to my school days. You can replace it with look back. It's the same thing. When I think back to my school days, when I look back to my school days and reflect upon my science teachers. If you reflect upon something, it means you consider that in your mind and you think about that. A few vivid memories come to mind. Now look at this beautiful collocation here. A vivid memory is a memory that you remember clearly and without any dark spots in your brain. You remember everything about that specific day or that specific happening that took place. So next time you want to say, I have a clear memory, replace it with, I have a vivid memory, which is much better. Next sentence went like this. The first thing that stands out is their passion for the subject. So the first thing that was important and that comes to his mind when he thinks about science teachers is that they had a passion for the subject. They were really interested in the subject. Now, have a passion for something can be replaced with anything that rather than the subject. For example, I have a passion for music. I am passionate about music. It means I really, really like music a lot. Now, the next sentence went like this. They had an unwavering enthusiasm that was truly infectious. And it made the learning experience all the more engaging. Okay, if you have an unwavering enthusiasm, it means you have an enthusiasm that does not change. Okay, remains the same. Throughout. So, they had an unwavering enthusiasm. If you're enthusiastic about something, it means you like that very, very much. Okay, that was truly infectious. If something is infectious, it infects you. So it's usually used for diseases, but it doesn't stop there. Your enthusiasm can be infectious. Your happiness can be infectious. Your perspective towards life can be infectious. It can infect others, and you can make others people feel better, look better, act better throughout. So, was infectious? It means that they transferred that enthusiasm to us to an extent, and it made the learning experience all the more engaging. So their enthusiasm actually made the learning experience, the experience of them learning, engaging. All the more engaging can be replaced with much more engaging. It means that if you're engaged, if something is engaging, it means that you are engaged in that thing. You try to spend a lot of time there. You try to learn something about that. So that's an engaging activity. I remember how they would bring the classroom to life. If you bring something to life, okay, it means you give them you give them an extra layer of color, or you try to make them interesting and enjoyable for people. You bring that thing alive. Bring something to life can be replaced by bring something alive by conducting captivating experiments. Okay. Now, we talked about this. We talked about the fact that we should try and use as many adjectives as we possibly can when we are talking about something. If an activity is captivating, it means it conquers your mind. So you are really amazed, truly amazed by something. A captivating experiment and demonstration. A demonstration is when you demonstrate or you explain about a specific subject or matter. And the last sentence, whether it was mixing chemicals to create colorful reactions, this mixing chemicals to create a colorful reaction is an example of a hands-on activity. So the candidate says it doesn't matter whether it was mixing chemicals to create colorful reactions or using methods and visual aids, to use a method or a visual aid to explain complex scientific concepts, to talk about a concept, an idea which is scientific and it's complicated to understand. Complex can be replaced with the with the adjective complicated. They always found creative ways to make the listen come alive. They always found a creative way, something which was innovative, new, to make the lesson come alive. So we had this, bring the classroom to life can be replaced with come alive. So these two are actually synonyms. Let's take a look at the related vocabulary. Think back to something. It means when you think about your childhood memories or something which has happened to you in the past. Unwavering enthusiasm, we talked about this. Something that does not change through time is unwavering. Bring the classroom to life. I just explained about this here. Here it is used come alive. In the previous section it used bring to life. Bring the classroom to life. Captivating experiments and demonstrations. We talked about the fact that you have to use adjectives when you are trying to describe nouns. A captivating experiment and demonstration is something that makes you amazed. Hands-on experience was a practical experience that you carried out. Retain information. Now this is a verb that is very commonly used, and I do recommend you guys to use it. Instead of saying remember something, it's a synonym for remember. Sorry guys, that bottom part shouldn't have been marked. Let me remark it for you guys. Retain information is a very good synonym. Retain is a very good synonym for remember. So if you retain something, you remember it. Sparks somebody's curiosity. It means it starts that person's curiosity. It's a beginner of the curiosity. Encourage questions. Now, this is also something which happens in classrooms all over the world. If you encourage questions, it means it's okay for you to ask questions in a teacher's class, which is something which is very, 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 I think, is of utmost importance. If you are a teacher, you should always encourage questions. You should always ask your students to ask questions from you. The next one, let's see if we can get this straight, is foster a supportive learning environment. Foster here means create. Okay, also means handle. Okay, to create a supportive learning environment. What's a supportive learning environment? An environment or a classroom or a school which different people or different pupils actually support each other and at what they do. Grasp an idea or concept, get to an idea or a concept, play a pivotal role. Now this is also one of the most beautiful expressions that you can use. If something plays a pivotal role, it plays a key role in your life. So instead of using a pivotal role, you can easily replace it with a key role. Scientific inquiry, it means inquiry means asking a question. If you have scientific inquiry, it means you ask about lots of things which are related to the realm of science. Now there's a very, very nice expression which goes with the word inquiry. If you add an ing to the word, it becomes inquiring, and it refers to something that asks a lot of questions. So you can say children have an inquiring mind. So children have a mind which is quite inquiring. Thought-provoking questions. If something is a thought-provoking phenomenon or aspect, it means it makes you think. Your thoughts is provoked and you have to think about that specific thing. Develop a scientific mindset. If you have a scientific mindset, you read a lot of articles, you try to even publish articles on your own, so you have a scientific mindset and leave a lasting impression on somebody. If you leave a lasting impression on a person, it means that person is forever impressed by you. Now, the third question was, how interested are you in science? Is that person interested in science or not? Before I go towards the answer, there's something I should point out here, and that is the fact that when you are asked the question, how interested are you in science now? You can easily lie about the answer. Your answer doesn't have to be true. You can easily say something which is not true or is a complete lie. Okay, so this is one of the techniques which you can use when you are talking in the IELTS speaking section. In terms of my interest in science, again, paraphrase of the topic, use of the expression in terms of a perfect gap filler and a perfect opener for you to have some time to think. I must say that it has continued to grow and revolve over the years. It has continued to get bigger and revolve, change during these years. Evolve, sorry, I said revolve, I think. That was a mistake. Evolve over the years. Evolve means gradually change, okay? Next sentence goes, even though I am no longer a student, even though can be replaced with although. No longer means not, although I'm not a student. See, this is the simplified version of this sentence. Although I'm not a student, even though I'm no longer a student. Now look at how beautiful the word sounds when it's said like that. I find myself drawn to scientific discoveries. If you are drawn to something, you are attracted to that specific thing. And that person finds himself attracted to scientific discoveries, advancements, things that have become better, and the wonders of the natural world. The things that are part of the natural world and are wonders, like the pyramids in Egypt are one of the wonders, one of the 7 wonders of the world. And if something is a wonder, it means that we don't know how it was built or how did it end up being in that certain or specific place. Next sentence, one of the reasons for my sustained interest in science is its relevance to our daily lives. If you have a sustained interest in something, now this is the expression, It means your interest in that thing is very, very, let's say, straightforward. There are no variations in your interest in that specific thing, and you are always interested in that thing. That was the word I was actually looking for. One of the reasons for my sustained interest, one of the reasons why I am always interested in science, so you could have replaced sustained interest in science with I am always interested in science, is its relevance to our daily lives, is that thing is related to our daily lives. Furthermore, I find the process of scientific inquiry and exploration fascinating. For the candidate, the process of scientific inquiry, asking questions and exploration, it means looking for things, fascinating, amazing. And the last sentence, I think it's 2 sentences, yes. Moreover, science provides a platform for critical thinking and problem solving. So science provides a stage for you to be a critical thinker, it means criticize everything, and a problem solver. It encourages us to question assumptions. Let me mark that. Examine evidence and think logically. If you question an assumption is an idea or something that you assume to be true. Okay, examine evidence. If there are evidence, it means that there is something there which actually tries to prove something. Okay, it's evidence. And think logically. Have a logical perspective towards life. Have logical thoughts towards life. Logically means not being emotional. Now, the related vocabulary, find yourself drawn to scientific discoveries. Find yourself interested in scientific discoveries. Sustained interest, we talked about this, is an interest that does not fluctuate and remains the same throughout. If something addresses a global challenge or issue, it's actually trying to solve that issue for you. Stay informed. One of the most important things to do if you want to join the elite group of scientists is that you have to always stay informed. You should know all the latest things that have happened in your field. Scientific inquiry, we talked about that. Delve into something. Now this is a beautiful verb. If you delve into something, it means you find information about somebody or something. You try to find out everything about that person. So next time, if you want to say find information, you can replace it with delve into and explore new scientific frontiers. A frontier is a place that a group of people are working on something, or it's the first line in a war. So it's the first line in a war, or the people who are the best at doing something actually. And And the last question, what do you think has been an important recent scientific development? So what has been one of the important developments in science? The candidate talks about renewable energy, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he does. In my opinion, in my point of view, one of the most significant recent scientific developments, again, paraphrase of the topic, look at how beautifully the candidate is carrying this out, has been the emergence of renewable energy, has been the creation of renewable energy. If something emerges, it means it has come out or has been created. As a viable alternative to fossil fuels. Viable means acceptable. So what he's trying to say is that one of the most important developments is the development of renewable energy, and it is that development is a viable alternative also for fossil fuels. This shift towards renewable energy, let me find the end, sources has brought about a transformative change in our energy landscape and holds immense promise for addressing pressing environmental concerns. So the shift towards renewable energy has bring about means caused, a transformative change, a change which has transformed, which has changed everything, a change which has changed, that's a nice expression, that's a nice way of putting it, in our energy landscape, the way we use energy, and holds immense promise. If something holds immense promise, this is also a very beautiful expression. It means it's promising. It's something that has a future for addressing pressing environmental concern. if we talked about address means solve. A pressing environmental concern is an environmental concern that is urgent, that has to be taken care of immediately, or otherwise it will have irreparable damages for the environment. Firstly, the development of widespread adoption of renewable energy technologies such as solar and wind power have significantly reduced our dependence on fossil fuels. So, first of all, the development, the expansion and widespread adoption, adoption can be replaced with the verb use, with a noun use, of renewable energy technologies such as solar and wind power have significantly reduced it to a great deal our dependence on fossil fuels, the dependence we have on the fossil fuels. Next section says another reason, furthermore, renewable energy technologies, if you have a renewable energy technology at home, it would be interesting, have also sparked economic growth and job creation. Spark means create, or a very light which sparks an economic growth and job creation. And the last sentence of this first part, moreover, the decentralization of energy production. What it's trying to say here, that is because of renewable energies, energy production has been decentralized. Previously there were 3 or 4, let's say, plants which would produce electricity. Now there are much more. So the decentralization of energy production facilitated by new renewable technology, it means made it easier because of that, sources, has brought about greater energy independence and reliance. Has caused, brought about, we said, means caused. Let's take a look at the vocabulary. Viable alternative was a successful alternative. Holds immense promise or promising. It means promising or successful or good in the future. Pressing concern is an urgent concern. It's something that you are concerned about very urgently, needing to be discussed or dealt with very soon. And that's very, it's not very. We will change that. Mitigate, we talked about this, I think, means to make a situation or the effects of that, something less pleasant, harmful or serious. The synonym for mitigate is alleviate, to make less serious. Spark economic growth, create economic growth. Resilience means toughness. And that is the end of the first section of the Speaking IELTS Book 18, Test 2. Okay guys, let's move on to Task 2. In the second task, this is one of the most common questions which is actually asked to be answered in the Task 2. As you already know, in Task 2 a topic is given and you have 1 minute to think about the topic and also take notes, and then 1 to 2 minutes to talk about it. The question was this: describe a tourist attraction in your country that you would recommend. You should say what the tourist attraction is, where in your country this tourist attraction is, what visitors can see and do at this tourist attraction, and explain why you would recommend this tourist attraction. Very beautifully answered by the candidate. The first sentence starts off like this: one tourist attraction in my country that I would highly recommend is the Taj Mahal. Now, the first expression here is highly recommended. If you add an ed to the end of that word, he is, for example, a highly recommended coach. It becomes an adjective. Here it's I would highly recommend. Here recommend is a verb, but you can change this whole expression into an adjective by adding an ed and putting a hyphen between highly and recommended. It becomes highly recommended. So if somebody is highly recommended, it means that that person is very good at what they are doing, or at what that person is, for example, is their profession or anything. But here it is referring to something else, a tourist attraction in the candidate's country that he would highly recommend. It means that he recommends everybody, he is telling everybody to go and see it, is the Taj Mahal. I'm sure you're all familiar with the Taj Mahal, so we're going to continue with the speaking. Located in India, it's very important to talk about what the tourist attraction is. It's one of the things that you have to definitely describe when you are talking about it. The Taj Mahal is situated in the city of Agra, which is in the northern part of the country. So it talks about the situation of the city. It's located in the city of Agra, and it tells where Agra is in the northern part of the country. So this is also something which you have to bear in mind. It's very important to describe where that place actually is, and the geographic location by where it is. That's what I mean. The next sentence continues to give some further information about the Taj Mahal. This iconic monument, we talked about iconic, which means it's an icon of the city, of a country or a place, meaning everybody knows that, a beautiful adjective, is recognized as one of the 7 wonders of the world. So it's one of the 7 wonders. There are 7 buildings in the world that are considered, not buildings, constructions in the world that are considered as wonders. One of them is the Taj Mahal. The other one is, for example, the pyramids in Egypt. Is recognized as one of the 7 wonders of the world by the UNESCO World Heritage Site. So UNESCO is a World Heritage Site, and they have recognized the Taj Mahal as one of the 7 wonders of the world. Visitors to the Taj Mahal are in for a breathtaking experience. Now this beautiful sentence, very beautifully constructed. Visitors to the Taj Mahal, now the expression is this, be in for something. If you are in for something, it means you are going to experience it, okay? What the speaker is saying here, the candidate is saying, visitors to the Taj Mahal are going to experience, will experience a breathtaking experience. If something is breathtaking, it means it takes your breath away. It's so amazing that you can't breathe, that you stop breathing, you literally stop breathing. So a breathtaking experience is also a very, very, very good expression which can be used to describe the type of experience that you're supposed to have. The next sentence is a little bit longer than the previous ones. The main highlight of this attraction, the main point of this attraction, if a highlight is something which stands out. So what's the most important thing about this attraction? Now, attraction here actually refers to tourist attraction. So it's okay if you omit the tourist before it, is the magnificent white marble mausoleum. Now, what's a mausoleum? A mausoleum is a tomb. So the synonym for mausoleum is tomb, a very big building. Usually that building is a place where somebody has died and has been buried there, or something which is related to religion or things like that. So a magnificent white marble mausoleum. It's made out of white marble, and it's magnificent. Magnificent can be a synonym for breathtaking, okay, which was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. So here I want to talk about was built, okay. This is a passive form, one of the forms which is very, 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 it's highly recommended. Let's use the expression that we have today when you are doing the speaking in IELTS. It's very strongly recommended that if you can use a passive form, both in speaking and writing, both of them, they are both recommended in both places. So, which was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan in the 17th century as a tribute to his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. Now, if you do something as a tribute to somebody, okay, you say or you do something to express your respect for that person, or you want to admire that person, and you do that because you have admiration for that person, or you respect that person. So if something is a tribute to somebody, this was a tribute to his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. So the Taj Mahal was actually something to respect his wife. The architecture of the Taj Mahal is a fusion of Persian, Islamic and Indian design elements, resulting in an exquisite masterpiece. If something is a fusion, not confusion. If something is a fusion, it means it's a combination. Okay, so the architecture, the way that building, that structure has been built, is a fusion, is a combination of both Persian, Islamic and Indian design elements. So there are elements from different cultures have been used in order to create that building. They're Persian, they're Islamic and they're Indian, resulting in an exquisite masterpiece. Now, first of all, a masterpiece is something that is that not everybody can produce. It's something really unique and great. An exquisite masterpiece, if something is exquisite, it means it's very beautiful. It's very delicately made. It's actually crafted to perfection, if you want to give a synonym for that. And I again want to emphasize the fact that the candidate has added an adjective to his noun. He has added the adjective exquisite to the noun masterpiece. So this is again something he could have easily said resulting in a masterpiece. Adding the exquisite makes the sentence much more sophisticated. Now, let's move on to the next sentence. The intricate carvings. If something is intricate, it's complex or complicated. The intricate carvings, delicate marble inlays. Now, inlay is something that you actually try to build on a wall. For example, different patterns that you use, those are actually inlays. They're made out of marble. The symmetrical gardens surrounding the monument. If something is symmetrical, it means two sides of it are identical, that they are actually geometrically the same. So something is symmetrical, it means that they are the same. Surrounding the monument are a true statement of the craftsmanship of that era. This is also a beautiful, if something is a true, testament, not statement, excuse my mistake here, a true testament to the craftsmanship of the era. So a true testament, if something is a testament, it actually says that that thing is true. What is true? The craftsmanship of the era. It's showing the craftsmanship of that specific era. Now, upon entering the Taj Mahal complex, here it is used the expression upon entering. Now, this is also beautiful. Let me talk about this for a little bit. If you want to replace upon entering, upon means when. Okay, so the candidate could have easily said when entering the Taj Mahal complex. Okay, so upon is a much more beautiful word to use. Upon entering the Taj Mahal, when you enter the Taj Mahal, visitors can explore the expansive gardens and witness the grandeur of the structure from various angles. Now, expansive, if something is expansive, it means it's very huge, it's very big, it's got a lot of space to it. So they can explore, they can walk through, they can look at. Again, much better than is the word explore. Expansive gardens, great gardens, and witness, see the grandeur of the structure from various angles. Now, this grandeur, one of, again, beautiful words which has been used for the speaking. Grandeur means something that is impressive, beautiful, and its beauty, its size is really impressive for everybody. Okay, so the grandeur of the structure from various angles, the beauty, the greatness of the structure from various angles, from various perspectives. The next sentence which was said starts from here. As they approach the monument, if you approach something, you get close to it. As you move towards the monument, so again, they have used the candidate has used the verb approach instead of using go, for example, to go towards. Okay, they can marvel at the intricate details adorning the walls. Now, look at this beautiful expression used here. Marvel at, or there's another preposition which can be used with marvel. It's over something. So if you marvel at or over something, you feel great surprise or admiration. Okay, for example, marvel at the intricate details adorning the walls. This is an example. The example was so beautiful. I just wanted to tell you to write down this example for this verb. They can marvel at the intricate details adorning the walls. There are 3 very beautiful expressions used in this sentence. The first one is marvel at. The second one is intricate details. We talked about intricate. It was something we've already discussed up here. There it is, intricate. Intricate, we said, means complex or complicated. Okay? If something is adorning the walls, okay, if something is adorning the walls, it means that it's actually decorating the walls. So instead of using the word decorate, the candidate has used the word adorn, adorning the walls. So look at this sentence, how beautifully it's been constructed and how many interesting expressions and words have actually been used to construct this sentence. So they can marvel at. We talked about marvel at. It means to express great surprise or admiration. Intricate details, complex details, adorning the walls, decorating the walls. Okay, so it could have easily been said like this. They can look at the details on the walls. See, this sentence could have been said like this. They can look at the details on the walls. Okay, or they can appreciate the details on the walls. If you want to make it a little bit more complicated, we can use they can appreciate the details on the walls. So instead of that, the candidate has gone with this sentence. They can marvel at the intricate details adorning the walls. I don't think I need to give any further explanations about the fact that this sentence is way more sophisticated. And the impressive dome that crowns the mausoleum. Now, this, I know you might think that it's a little bit difficult for a student to produce such a combination or such a sentence, which is to some extent poetic. But if you do spend enough time, you will be able to produce sentences like these or combinations like these. A dome is a dome shaped, actually it's talking about the roof of the building, which is dome shaped, that crowns the mausoleum. If something crowns something, it means it's laid on top of it. So it's talking about the roof of the building, which is in the shape of a dome, and it's actually placed on top of the tomb, the mausoleum. We talked about that. So I know this sentence is difficult, but if you can memorize it, the impressive dome that crowns the mausoleum, the impressive dome that crowns the building, or the impressive, for example, instead of dome, you can easily use roof garden. So you can say the impressive roof garden that crowns the building. Now this can also be a synonym, another way of saying such a sentence if you want to use it, for example, for another building. Inside the Taj Mahal, now it's going, after explaining the exterior, it's trying to talk a little bit, the candidate is trying to talk a little bit about the interior of the building as well. Visitors can pay their respects to the tombs of Emperor Shah Jahan and Mumtaz Mahal. If you pay respects, it means you go and you actually go to their grave and you show respect to them because they're both dead, experiencing the serene ambience of the place. Now, again, beautifully placed, serene ambience. If something is serene, it's very calm and peaceful. Ambience means atmosphere, the surrounding of something. Okay, so they can experience the calm atmosphere. Now, they can experience the calm atmosphere has been replaced with they can experience the serene ambience of the place. So, again, serene ambience is much, I think it's a much better expression to use. Aside from admiring the architectural marvel, here marvel means wonder or miracle. Aside from is another expression, except for. If you admire something, it means you really like it, okay? The architectural marvel, the architectural beauty, the architectural miracles and wonders. Visitors can also learn about the rich history and cultural significance of the Taj Mahal. If you learn about history, okay, what has happened to that building in the past. Cultural significance, I said I've already discussed this word in the previous videos. Significance actually means importance. So they can also actually learn about the significance, the cultural importance of the Taj Mahal, the role it's played in actually making India what it is. And I think the Taj Mahal actually is one of the buildings which can be described as a building that has changed India and is what India is to some extent really all about. Local guides are available, so there are guides inside the Taj Mahal, there are tour guides to provide in-depth information. Now, look at that. Again, the candidate hasn't said to provide information. It has added something to the information. It's tried to describe what type of information he is talking about. He has said in-depth information, okay? So the information that they provide is very deep, it's very strong, it's detailed about the construction, about the building, the love story behind it, why actually Shah Jahan built this tomb for Mumtaz Mahal, and the cultural context of the Mughal era. So what kind of culture was actually dominant during that era are the things that are discussed by the tour guides. That is why the candidate has used in-depth information for this. So the information you receive is very deep and you learn a lot about the Taj Mahal if you go there. Additionally, furthermore, moreover, I can't emphasize this word enough, visitors can capture stunning photographs. Now, visitors can take photographs. Instead of capture stunning photographs, the candidate could have easily said take photographs, but he has decided to go with this beautiful expression, capture a stunning photograph or capture stunning photographs of the Taj Mahal. So you can take really beautiful photographs if you want to from the Taj Mahal, especially during sunrise or sunset, especially when the sun is rising or setting, when its marble facade reflects different hues. A facade is the exterior of the building. It's about, for example, how the building is seen from the outside. A hue is a shade. So if what it's trying to say that is that when the sun shines on the building, it actually reflects a specific kind of hue, which is apparently beautiful. Creating a mesmerizing visual spectacle, creating a mesmerizing visual view, creating a great view. Again, mesmerizing, instead of that you can easily use great, and you can omit the visual. So you can say creating an amazing view. Instead of mesmerizing visual spectacle, you can use that. So, again, I don't think I need to say why this one is better. I would highly recommend the Taj Mahal as a tourist attraction. So the candidate believes that the Taj Mahal is a good place to go as a tourist attraction because it is not only a remarkable architectural wonder. It says because not only is it a remarkable architectural wonder, it is an architectural building that is remarkable, is really great, okay? But also a symbol of eternal love and devotion. But also it's a symbol, it's a sign that love is eternal. Love never dies away and it will never go away. So, next sentence, the sheer beauty. Sheer here means absolute. It's a synonym for absolute beauty. And grandeur of the monument leave a lasting impression on visitors. We talked about grandeur, its impressive beauty, power or size. So the sheer beauty and grandeur of the monument leave a lasting impression on visitors. Now, this is an expression you also want to take notes of and write down. Leave a lasting impression on somebody. It means the impression that it leaves, the effect that it has on you will last forever. Furthermore, we had that already. Furthermore, the Taj Mahal represents the rich history and cultural heritage of India. So, furthermore, moreover, Taj Mahal means shows rich history. You can easily omit rich and stay with history and cultural heritage. The things that are related to the culture of India, allowing visitors to immerse themselves in the country's vibrant past. Allowing visitors, if you immerse yourself in something, that's the expression. It means you become completely involved with that things. So they immerse themselves in the country's vibrant past, sorry. And the last sentence to wrap it up, it is truly awe-inspiring. It is a truly awe-inspiring experience. Awe-inspiring means extremely impressive, okay? That you, even to an extent which you show respect. It is a truly awe-inspiring experience to witness, okay, the majesty of this masterpiece, okay, the grandeur of this masterpiece, if we want to replace that with that. And it is a must-visit destination for anyone exploring India. It's a destination which everybody must go there and see it if you're exploring India. Let's take a look at the vocabulary for this part. Iconic monument means a very, very important monument. We talked about breathtaking experience, an experience that takes your breath away. A mausoleum is a tomb. I already talked about this. A tribute to somebody, something you say to do or give to express your respect or admiration for someone. So that's a tribute. A fusion was a combination of separate qualities or ideas. An exquisite, for example, holiday is extremely beautiful and very delicately made. Intricate means complex. We talked about the inlays, the decorations which are made on the walls and things like that. Be a statement to something. It means to prove or show very clearly that something exists or is true. Synonym for that is evidence, proof, and also indication. All three can be a synonym for this one. Grandeur, we talked about this, means impressive beauty, power, or size, something which is really impressive, which impresses you. Marvel at or over something. This was a beautiful expression. To feel or express great surprise or admiration at something, especially somebody's behavior. So if you marvel at somebody's behavior, it can also be used for that. You express great surprise or great admiration. Marvel at the intricate details adorning the walls. This is also the expression I wrote here because I believe it was the most beautiful one. Okay, we talked about the inlays which adorn the walls. It means to decorate the walls. Serene, we had it, serene beauty. Very calm or peaceful, or serene ambience, the serene atmosphere. Marvel itself means miracle or wonder. It can mean both. In-depth information. We talked about this. If something is in-depth, it's very detailed. You're talking about it in as much detail as you possibly can. Cultural context is the context in which something has actually happened. So something can be, for example, regarded a good thing in your country, but a bad thing in another country. That's why there is a cultural context. Hue was shade. We learned that. Spectacle means sight, view, or seen. All of them are synonyms for that. Immerse yourself in something. We talked about this as well, to become completely involved in an activity. So if you immerse yourself in something, you was completely involved, become part of that activity. Vibrant, okay, full of activity or energy in a way that is exciting or attractive. We have, for example, a vibrant city. So if you're living in a vibrant city, for example, if you're living in New York is a vibrant city. It's full of activity, full of energy, and so that's why it can be used here. And the synonym for it is lively. The penultimate word is awe-inspiring, experience. So extremely impressive in a way that makes you feel great respect. And the synonyms are impressive, dazzling, breathtaking, and majestic. Majestic. Why did I read it like that? Majestic. And the last one is majesty, means grandeur, one of the expressions. I think this was one of the most beautiful speakings that we have had so far. It has this attention to detail, and the expressions and words that were used here were really, really, really breathtaking. Okay guys, let's move on to task 3. the more challenging questions. Let's take a look at the first one. Why do some people book package holidays rather than traveling independently? Book here is a verb, it means reserve. A package holiday is a holiday which you actually go on where you do not plan where you're going, and everything is planned out for you, and you just pay for the holiday and you go on that holiday. There are several reasons, this is how the answer panned out actually, for why some people choose to book package holidays instead of traveling independently. Again, paraphrasing the sentence, paraphrasing the question is one of the most effective methods you can use in order to buy yourself some time. So the candidate indicates that there are several reasons why some people choose to book package holidays instead of traveling independently. If you travel independently, it means you do it on your own, you program everything yourself, and you don't rely on other people to actually do that for you. Firstly, package holidays offer convenience and ease of planning. So the first reason is that the package holiday offers convenience. Convenience means comfort. You're comfortable if you choose a package holiday because you don't have to do anything. Everything is already done for you. And ease of planning. It means planning happens for you and you don't have to do anything when it comes to actually choosing a package holiday. When booking a package holiday, when you book a package holiday, it's also a very good combination. When doing something, you can use this expression to actually talk about something. After when you can use the verb in the ing form, which is a very common structure that is used in English. When booking a package holiday, all the arrangements, everything that is arranged, all the things that you should arrange, including, it's giving the example of the arrangements. Now this is a good example of being able to use your lexical resources, being able to use the number of actually your vocabulary span to choose words, including flights, accommodation and transportation. Flights is actually when you fly. Accommodation is where you're going to stay, your hotel or the room or the house or anywhere which you have booked. And transportation is when you are going to go from one place to another, are taken care of by this travel agency. Take care of something is the expression which I know you've all heard before. If you haven't, it will be your first time. If you take care of something, it means you do it. And a travel agency is an agency or a company which takes care of actually preparing you to fly somewhere, that they are in charge of actually preparing a package holiday for you. So it's taken care of by the travel agency. This eliminates the need for travelers to spend time researching and organizing each aspect of their trip individually. If something is eliminated, it means it does not exist anymore. So if you eliminate something, you delete it, for example. If you want to give a synonym for that, delete is a good one. This eliminates the need for travelers, you don't need to do something, to spend time researching, to do research and organizing. If you organize something, you prepare it. Each aspect of the travel individually. We talked about aspect, it means part. Each part of your travel individually, one by one. So this actually eliminates the need, it stops the need, it diminishes the need for you to do that. It's been already done for you. That's why it creates convenience and ease of planning. Secondly, package holidays often provide a sense of security and peace of mind. The first thing I want to talk about is the verb provide. Look at this. It's not the candidate uses provide. It could easily have gone like this. Package holidays often give a sense of security and peace of mind. But the candidate has decided to go with the verb provide, to provide something. Sense of security. What's a sense of security? Is when you feel secure, when you feel that nobody can hurt you, for example. And peace of mind. It means your mind is not preoccupied, you're not worried about anything. Your mind is at ease, it's peaceful. So it's also another beautiful expression to write down and use in your speakings. Traveling to unfamiliar destinations. An unfamiliar destination is a destination or a place you want to go that you have never been there before. It's your first time you're going there. So again, unfamiliar destination could be replaced with, for example, places you have never traveled before. So there's a better collocation for that. Can be daunting. Now, if something is daunting, it's frightening. okay, that takes a daunting task, for example, is a task which is frightening and at the same and simultaneously takes your self-confidence away. Can be frightening, especially for those who are less experienced and prefer not to handle logistics on their own. So if you don't have experience, you are less experienced, you definitely, if you go somewhere for the first time, it will be daunting for you because you've never been there before, and it will actually cause some maybe problems for you. So they prefer to handle prefer to handle logistics on their own. Logistics actually are the arrangements that you need to make in order to make a plan, go somewhere, see people. So this is exactly what happens when you go on a vacation. You have to handle logistics. Here, logistics refer to how am I going to fly? When does my plane leave? How do I get to the airport? Who's going to pick me up from the airport? How do I get to my hotel, or where's my accommodation? When can I get there? How am I going to pay for that? All of these are considered as logistics. So if you don't want to handle that on your own, it's better to actually get a package holiday. Moreover, furthermore, look, this is the third video that we're doing, and you can see that this phrase is being repeatedly used in all the speaking sections. So please pay attention to this and try to engineer it into your speakings. Package holidays often offer a range of amenities and activities that are pre-arranged. Okay, amenity is a service or a facility. Okay, so if the package holiday offer, again, instead of give, we have offer a range of amenities. So a range of facilities and services and activities, something that you can do, which are pre-arranged. Pre-arranged means pre-planned, pre-programmed, programmed beforehand, so you already know what's going to happen for you when you are there. So exactly meaning to handle logistics on their own. So he's trying to complete and give further information and extra information about what it means to handle logistics. Moving on to the next sentence, travelers can select packages tailored to their preferences. Now, this is a beautiful expression. If you tailor something to your preferences or tailor something to your needs, or you can also tailor something to your expectations. If something is tailored to your preferences, it means your preferences have been taken into consideration when that package is being prepared. So when you tailor something to your preferences, you actually get something which you want or which you prefer to have. Whether they are interested in relaxation, it doesn't matter if you're interested in being relaxed, adventure, doing something adventurous, cultural immersion. If there's a cultural immersion, it means you are immersed in that culture. You become part of that culture. You want to learn more about that culture, or a combination of these experiences, or all of these experiences combined as one. In conclusion, as a result, people choose to book package holidays for their convenience, security, and peace of mind they offer. So the reason why people choose to book a package holiday, we talked about book, we talked about package holidays already, is convenience. We talked about convenience is that it's comfortable for you, it's secure, it gives you a sense of security, you do not actually feel daunted, and peace of mind, you are peaceful, you don't have to worry about different things. Now the vocabulary, for this part, accommodation is where you stay, is a place you are staying, is actually your accommodation. It can be a house, it can be a hotel, it can be a motel, it can be B&B, it can be a lot of things. Travel agency is actually the facility that provides that for you. Streamlined planning. Now this was an expression which was not used, but it's a very, very interesting expression you can use. If something is streamlined, it's simple and effective. So streamlined planning is planning which is both simple and effective. You can easily use that in your speaking if such a question is asked. Sense of security, we talked about this, you feel safe and secure about the things that are happening to you. If something is daunting, okay, it's frightening in a way that makes you feel less confident. I gave you the examples, daunting task, daunting experience. Both can be used as a collocation. hassle-free experience. Now, this was also something which was very, very interesting here. If something is a hassle-free, it's without problems or bother. Something does not cause problems for you, and simultaneously at the same time, it does not bother you. Okay, we talked about amenity. It means facility or service. If something is cost effective, now when you are traveling, one of the things that should be a concern for you is how much that vacation or the place you're going to go to is going to cost. So you are looking for the most cost effective plan possible. So if it's cost effective, it means it's profitable for you. You do not spend more money than you should, and explore off the beaten track destination. This is the last expression I wrote for this, and I think it's a beautiful expression to use. Now, this is the adjective, off the beaten track. If you explore a destination which is off the beaten track, it means it's a place which nobody has gone there before. It's a unique destination. It's a place which is you're going there for the first time, or very few people have actually visited that place. Now let's go to the second question. The second question moves on to museums and art galleries. Do you believe that all museums and art galleries should be free? Now, this was, again, a very controversial question. We already know that the task 3 questions are generally controversial. You have to think about them a little bit. You have to take different aspects into consideration when you're trying to answer such questions. In response to the question of, now look at the gap filler, look at the opener this candidate is using to actually address the question. In response to the question of, now here he wants to again paraphrase the topic. Whether all museums and art galleries should be free, here is the part which he has talked about the topic. So he's given this in response to the question of, then he has actually paraphrased the question, whether art museums and whether all museums and art galleries should be free. Now he's giving an opinion. Now he's trying to create even more time for himself to think. I believe that there are valid arguments both in favor and against this proposition. Now, if an argument is valid, a valid argument is an argument which is logical, acceptable. Okay, so there's a valid argument. So argument here means reason. If you want to have a synonym for that, both in favor, it means for something or supporting something, and against this proposition. Proposition means idea. So now he's going to talk about the reasoning that he's going to bring. However, personally, I lean towards, if you lean towards something, you are in favor of that thing. I lean towards the view that not all museums and art galleries should be entirely free of charge. Now, here the candidate is trying to tell what he believes in before arguing the reasons that he has. Now, this is also a very important thing to say, because when the question is addressed to you, so you should give your opinion when you are trying to answer a task 3 question. I lean towards means I'm in favor of, or the perspective that I am trying to I agree with is that not all museums and art galleries should be entirely free of charge. If something is free of charge, it means it's free. It's the same. Being free of charge means being free. So using this expression, already know that it's much better. I don't need to emphasize it even more. Anyhow, moving on, there are several considerations to take into account. Now, this is the expression, take something into account or take something into consideration. Both of them can be used, so I'm going to repeat them one more time, because I think they're really important expressions and they're used on a very regular basis. Take something into account or take something into consideration. It means to consider something, pay attention to it, weigh its pros and cons and see if it's a good thing or a bad thing. So there are several things that should be taken into account, that should be considered. There are several considerations that to take into account, to consider. Firstly, the first thing, museums and art galleries often require substantial financial resources. Now look at the expression that's used here, substantial financial resources. Substantial means great, huge amount of a financial resource is the money that comes in in order for you to be able to do something. Okay, so they require substantial financial resources to maintain and preserve their collections. If you maintain and preserve something, it means you take care of it. You actually don't let it get destroyed or weary or anything like that. And the collections are the things which are collected and kept in a museum or an art gallery, the pieces of art, the handicrafts, or everything which is already there, as well as to provide adequate facilities. Now look at that. Adequate means enough. Okay, so it has to provide adequate facilities and educational programs. So two things that they want to provide are adequate facilities, educational programs. It's using the use of these words are really, really helpful to enhance the speaking that you are doing. Admission fees. Admission fee is the fee that you give in order to be admitted into a place. In this case, it's an art gallery or a museum. It can be used for any other thing as well. Now pay attention to this. Admission fee can be used for an institute. It can be used for universities. It can be used for any course that you are taking. You have to pay a price in order to enter that. Contribute to the sustainability of these institutions. If something contributes to something, it means it plays a part. It helps to the sustainability of these institutions. If something is sustainable, it means it does not fluctuate, it remains the same. Here, the sustainability of the institution, it means that the institution stays alive, it doesn't get destroyed, and it still can function and keep working. Allowing them, giving them this, I'm going to say permission, I wanted to say permission, but that's not the case here. Allowing them to continue their valuable work, to continue doing the work that they're doing, and it's precious, it's valuable, in preserving and showcasing artistic and cultural treasures. Preserve, we talked about this, means to take care of something, not let it get destroyed. Showcase is the same as show. Showcase and show are synonyms. Artistic and cultural treasures. If something is a treasure, it means it's highly valued and we have to take care of that thing. Now, next question. Furthermore, again, the use of furthermore. Making all museums and art galleries free. It means if we make all museums and art galleries free, could potentially lead to, now look at this, could potentially lead to. Could lead to would be the first choice that comes to mind, but adding the adverb potentially makes your sentence a million times more beautiful. So please pay attention to that when you add that adverb to your verb, lead to something, okay? Overcrowding means when there are too many people there, and a decline in overall visitor experience. Now, and a visitor experience is when you go somewhere and you experience something. So when an experience is good, you have a good visitor experience. It means when you go to a place, you enjoy yourself there. A decline means a decrease. So if something declines, it means it lessens or is reduced. So what the candidate is trying to say here is he's trying to say that if such a thing happens, the visitor experience will decline. It won't be as good as it used to because there are potentially too many people there. With no financial barrier, it means when there is no admission fee, or with no admission fee, but because the candidate has already used the word admission fee, he's trying to replace it with something, and financial barrier is a beautiful replacement and a wonderful way to say the same thing as admission fee or as fee. There may be an influx of visitors. If there is an influx of visitors, an influx is when a large number of people or a large group of people go somewhere. So if there's an influx in visitors, it means there's a huge increase in the number of visitors which go to see a museum or a gallery, making it difficult, making it hard for individuals to fully appreciate the exhibits or engage in a meaningful way. That's exactly what it had explained in the previous sentence, which causes a decline in the overall experience. What he means by this is that individuals cannot fully appreciate the exhibits. The exhibit is what is being shown in his museum, is the exhibit, okay? or engage in a meaningful way, or try to understand everything about the things which are being shown at the gallery. In conclusion, the implementation of reasonable entrance fees. Now, the first thing I want to talk about here is the word implementation, use. The second one is this, look at this, entrance fee. What was the previous word which was used for that? Financial barrier. What was the previous expression which was used before financial barrier? Admission fees. Now, this is what makes your speaking and your score go higher than usual. Okay? The candidate with an IELTS score of 7 cannot do this. Admission fee, then financial barrier, then entrance fee. Now look, this candidate has used 3 different expressions to refer to just the word fee. Okay, so this is what makes your speaking stand out. Implementation of reasonable entrance fees, something which is logical. Reasonable, a synonym for reasonable is logical, would help ensure the sustainability and quality of these institutions, would help make sure that these institutions have a high quality and they're sustainable. We talked about both of these, enabling them to continue preserving and promoting art and culture for future generations. If you enable somebody to do something, the expression is this, look at the verb, enable somebody to do something. Now here do is replaced with the word continue, enable somebody is replaced with the word them, with the pronoun them. If you enable somebody to do something, it means you give them the ability to do that thing. Okay, you make them capable of doing that thing. So it enables them to continue to keep going. Now they continue doing what? Preserving and promoting art and culture for future generations. If you preserve something, you take care of it. If you promote something, you actually let other people know that such a thing exists so they can come and visit that place. If you do a promotion, for example, it means you try to advertise. It's also used for products, it's used for a different range of things. Promote art and culture for future generations, for generations to come, could also be replaced with that. Related vocabulary for this question, lean towards a view. It means you are in favor of that view. Free of charge meant that there was no fee required, no entrance fee is needed, no admission fees. Promote culture and educational opportunities. We talked about to promote something, it means to advertise that, to make more people aware that such a thing actually does exist. Maintain and preserve a collection. A collection is actually kept in an art gallery. So if you maintain and preserve it, you take care of it. Beautiful expression, maintain and preserve. It can be used for a wide range of other things as well. It doesn't have to be just for a collection. You can maintain and preserve a car, for example. It's also used. Showcase was the same as show. And the last expression we're going to talk about here is an influx of visitors, the arrival of large numbers of people or large amounts of money or goods, etc. It can be, doesn't have to also be used for visitors. An influx can be for a large amount of money, large number of goods and things like that. And we get to the final question of this speaking. What kinds of things make a museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit? This is also a nice question. Well, there are several factors, again, paraphrasing, that contribute to making a museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit. So again, opening with an opener, there are several factors that contribute to something. There are several reasons that cause this thing. What is it causing? Paraphrase of the topic. Making a museum or art gallery an interesting place to visit. Now, the thing I want to emphasize here is that these things that I'm telling you, these are actually strategies that you have to employ when you are trying to take the IELTS exam and when you are preparing yourself and practicing this at home. So if you are listening to this video and you have come this far, it means that you are an avid learner. You really want to learn. You want to improve your speaking level. And you want to get a higher IELTS score. You want to get a 9, an 8.5 or something like that, which is a perfect score. So this is one of the things that you have to try and work on. Try to use it so many times that it actually becomes part of your subconscious mind. So every time that a question is asked, you actually automatically try to start with an opener and then paraphrase the topic, the question which is being asked. Firstly, the first reason, the variety and quality of the exhibits play a crucial role. So the reason a museum is interesting is that the variety, what different types of things are being shown or put on display, and the quality of the exhibits. We talked about exhibit. Exhibit means is what is being shown, plays a crucial role. Now look, it could have said plays an important role as a synonym for crucial. Crucial is a much better word. Plays a fundamental role, could have been used. A vital role is also possible. These are all synonyms for the word crucial here. Now, museums and art galleries that offer a diverse range of exhibits, museums and art galleries that offer a range of exhibits, things that are being shown, which are diverse, which are different in nature. There are a lot of different kinds of them, tend to attract a wider audience, usually attract more people. A wider audience means a greater number of people. So it could have easily said, the candidate could have said, tend to attract more people. But instead of that, he has chosen to use the expression a wider audience, which makes it much better. Then it moves on to the next part, whether it's ancient artifacts. An artifact is something that is made by hand or crafted by hand. An ancient one, which means it's old, it's historical. Contemporary work, if we have something contemporary, it means it's related to the current era or the current century. So if something is related to the 20th or 21st century, in our case, it's contemporary artwork. Or interactive displays. If something is interactive, it means you can see it, you can touch it, or do things like that. Having a rich collection. If your collection is rich, it means it's very valuable. Ensures there is something for everyone. It means when you have a variety of things, everybody can take advantage and learn something or get something out of your museum. Secondly, the presentation and organization of the displays are important. The way they are presented, the way they are shown, and the way they are organized. Okay, presentation means how they're shown. Organization it means, for example, how they are set out, which part comes first, which card comes next. Of the displays, display means exhibit. Display and exhibit have the same meaning, are important. Okay. Moving on to the next sentence, when exhibits are thoughtfully curated and well presented, it creates a visually appealing and immersive environment. Now, if something is thoughtfully curated, now let's talk about the word curate. If something is curated, okay, it means that it has been set somewhere, or it has been prepared somewhere. Okay, a curator is someone who is in charge of a museum or a zoo. If you take the O-R-E-D out of it, and after the T add an O-R, C-U-R-A-T-O-R, a curator is someone who is actually in charge of a museum or a zoo. So when exhibits are thoughtfully curated, so if you curate something, it means you set it out, you prepare it, the way it has been actually, the way the different things have been placed somewhere is when you curate something. If it's thoughtful, it means there's a lot of thought put behind it, and well presented, the presentation is good and you like it. It creates a visually appealing and immersive atmosphere. Now, this is beautiful. You can write this down. I strongly recommend that you use it. If something is visually appealing, it means it's beautiful. You like looking at it. Now, instead of saying it's beautiful, okay, let's use the word visually appealing and immersive. If an environment is immersive, it means it creates an image which appears to surround you. It's a three-dimensional image. You are immersed in the environment. It means you think that you are part of that environment. You don't see that you are that you don't think that you are separated from that environment. So this appealing and immersive environment can be used for anything. You can use it, visually appealing. I forgot to highlight that part. Look at this, a visually appealing and immersive environment. You can easily use it for a shopping mall when you go shopping somewhere, or you can use it for a football stadium. For example, Wembley is visually appealing and has a visually appealing and immersive environment. So you don't have to just use it for a museum. It's not limited to a museum. You can use it for any other thing. So this is also another point which you can take here, which that you can use the expressions we are teaching you here in other contexts as well. To sum up, in conclusion, as a whole, a museum or art gallery becomes an interesting place to visit. So a museum or art gallery becomes interesting to go to when it offers a diverse range of exhibits. Now this was the expression, a diverse range of exhibits, when it means that the things that are being shown, the things that have been exhibited are diverse. They're not the same, and presents them thoughtfully, curates them thoughtfully. The curator has put thought into putting them together. This brings us to the final part. Let's take a look at the expressions and related vocabulary. Contributing factor is a factor that actually contributes to a specific item, or it changes that in a specific way. Exhibit, we talked about this, is an item that is being shown. An ancient artifact. An artifact is something that is made by hand. If it's ancient, it's old, it's historic, it goes back in time. A historical or art, if something has historical or artistic significance, it means that it has a historical or artistic importance, or it is important to that country or to that specific region. I talked about an immersive environment. If an environment is immersive, it generates a three-dimensional image which appears to surround the user. So it gives you a genuine feeling of where you're going and what you're doing there. Contributes to something's appeal. If something contributes to something's appeal, if something is appealing, it means it's attractive for you. If something contributes to its appeal, it means it makes that thing become or look more appealing. A conducive atmosphere is an atmosphere which providing the right condition for something good or to happen or exist. So if you want somebody to have a genuine experience of something, you have to create a conducive atmosphere, an atmosphere which that person feels good there, and it actually gives them the right feeling. A memorable and enriching experience. Now, this is also another expression that can be used for any kind of experience that you have had. If you've been on vacation, if you've gone on a tour, if you have gone hiking, if you've gone to see, a monument, you can say that monument I had a memorable and enriching experience. If something is memorable, if an experience is memorable, it means you remember that for the rest of your life. If it's enriching, it means you have learned something from it. It has made you become more knowledgeable. And the last expression, foster a deeper appreciation. If something fosters an appreciation, it encourages or it promotes a deeper appreciation of something. Okay, this brings us to the end of the second speaking of Book 18. I hope you had a great time, and I hope to see you in the next videos. Until then, take care of yourselves.